At this like stacked final table, like Lip Vivi, very strong player, BV Gar, very strong player, Ramastar also a very strong tournament player, and Aurora, very strong cash game player who has been playing tournaments on at Twitch sometimes too. Opens here is 5 suited, pretty standard, I think easy fold for BV Gar, and like Ramastar can true better call this hand here. Think it's a nice spot to put some pressure too versus button opening ranges. Think this time button open range would be like less suited heavy and more high card heavy to avoid three bets from Ramastar here, and he just calls. It's fine too. At this board here, we'll see on the sim, but let's see how the hand plays out. Aurora is going to check back here. I think pretty standard. Let me put select a bit faster here. I think Ramastar needs to start betting this turn when he checks the flop. He has very good removal versus King Queens, Queen Jacks that are going to be like super strong call for Aurora on like most runouts, and still have a good shot to the nuts too. And you put a pressure on like deuces, threes, fours, like 5-4 suited, king 5 suited. So I think you need to start betting this hand on the larger side. Let's say decide to check, Aurora obviously going to check too. There's nothing to get value from. And on the river here, Ramastar opts for 2x spot bet. And Aurora I think has like a reasonable call here. Like Ramastar is repping probably 8s plus here, I would say. So it's a pretty narrow range considering how many bluffs he has, and we'll see on the sim that's how the spot should be played, mostly on the flop here, because the flop changes everything. Aurora is going to call fold, call or fold. Let's see, call. Okay. Here I will be using GTO Plus, like very solid software for subs, and you see that like other position here lacks like the really strong hands, has like some hands that call sometimes, hands that fold sometimes, and doesn't get to check at this board at all. At this ICM scenario that is on the bubble, he really needs to start putting pressure here, mostly for half pot. Even a hand like King Jack suited with no backdoors at all, like this, like I would say no at all, but like King Jack of spade, King Jack of hearts here, has no backdoor flush draw and still leads for half pot, and this should be like the optimal play for most of our position range here. There's no checks on this position, so next sim will be lucky here to always check on the flop. Now we have the sim of auto position checking 100%, and let's see how it impacts the following tree. Funny enough, like being in position at 40 BB and like pretty decent stacks on the table for your side, I would say. You do check 100% here, and that's something that I never thought that could happen. Let's see what he does on the Queen of Diamonds turn. Yeah, let's see, just click here. Check on the flop. Turn. Other position does lead here. Let's see, like King Jack suited. Doesn't lead super often. I think would lead more often with the decent blockers that in position out of position has, but this is due to the fact that also in position is checking 100% of his range, so he still has like ace queens, king queens, aces, kings, pocket jacks, pocket tens, 9s, 7s, 5s. So there's like a very decent range still on in position shoes, and this limits like some of the bets. Like 9x is checking sometimes, like even king 9, ace 9s are not betting super often. 9 is betting large sometimes and betting medium some other times. And yeah, basically sets is the only like super frequent bet, along with even like two pairs like 9-7 off here is checking 50% of the time. So this is a pretty interesting strategy, much more passive than expected. Let's see. Yeah, king six of clubs here, leading very often with a good shot and a flush draw. Let's see here. A check. Are now in position starts betting. Bets aces, bets kings, bets queens, bets stems sometimes, nines, sevens, fives, always bets. Basically, queen five plus is betting here. Ace queen checks very often. Bets with club blocker because the ace of clubs blocker blocks some of the check raises that other position can have here. And he's bluffing like some gut shots here with the club blocker too. Yeah, six of clubs or ace of clubs do bluff here. Just because they have better removal. Yeah, yeah, very interesting. We check again and see the 8 of clubs river, and let's see what king jack suited does here. Uh, the king jacks that gets to the river mostly bet small here. That's very interesting. Most of the big bet size come from, let's say, Quinton suited. Something king jack suited is just more right, pretty similar, I would say. Jack six suited, that's like straight. See here. 9-8 suited, 9-8 of bets, mostly bot here. I'll have bot. Yeah, very interesting. Mostly 6x are betting large. Oh, interesting. 10 for suited is betting super large here because of the card removal rate. Blocks the 10, blocks the 4, so blocks some of the possible straights that in position can have here. And versus big size, ace 5 calls sometimes, fold sometimes. Fold more often than calls. Uh, but like a7 for me is the same hand and has a bit more of a call property. Maybe it's because like some 5x may decide to bluff the river, so you call ace 5 less than a7, for example, and 7 is never bluffing the river, I would say. So this may be the reason. Yeah, even 8s here just calls because like a lot of the big bet size comes from 6x hands, so very interesting hand. Think both players pretty well. I would say like the flop strategy really surprises me, and I hope you guys found this hand interesting too. So tune in for the next one.